Very soon, I will be preparing to release a number of projects which I have decided to call Phase One. Now, the reason I've chosen to do it this way is I feel it will help me to better organize and stay on top of my writing projects as I attempt to work my way through my ideas and get them out there for all of you to enjoy. Now, what that means is that in the near future, I will be preparing some of my material for the publication process, diverting some time from other pursuits towards preparing these projects for release. While for the moment I still have a great deal of work to do towards my last couple of projects that are part of Phase 1, work is proceeding at a steady pace, and fairly soon you'll start to see updates towards those projects as there is news to distribute. Each phase will generally consist of 5 major projects, with the duration of which entirely depending on how long it takes me to plan and write the narratives, since a lot of the way I write is dependent on the feel of it for me. Rather than aiming for specific length or word count, I prefer to craft my stories by making sure that every scene I put in has been allowed to play out to its natural conclusion. It's my hope that by doing it this way, the narrative feels fully developed and well written, but not overly descriptive or long simply for the sake of verbosity. One thing I frequently say when asking myself how long any project should be is, as long as it needs to be. So I tend to write longer stories reflective of both my personality and personal preferences. With regard to Phase 1 itself, the first project is, of course, Blue Moon, which is currently available through Amazon along with signed copies through my email or FA. That email is iridescencestudios@gmail.com, and my FA is Iridescence Studios. Just send me a note, and the cost is $25 for U.S. addresses and on a case-by-case basis elsewhere. For those of you who haven't read Blue Moon, it's an urban fantasy featuring my werewolf private investigator who gets more than she bargained for when she comes face-to-face with Cassidy, the leader of a group of rogue werewolves. Caught in the middle between her new world and her old one, she must navigate the dangers of both while at the same time trying to protect herself and those she cares about from threats she has only begun to understand. The second project is a collection of short stories featuring Lauren called Iridescence: The Talwin-Ashurian War, with an exciting cover by Sabretooth Ermine. I've actually had this one pretty much done for a long time, and the primary reason I didn't go forward with it was because of my hesitancy with being able to do the follow-ups justice, but even if I can't, I still think these are good pieces of work, so I want to get those out so you can see them. The project is a series of 12 short stories that basically sets up the mythology of my primary universe, in which we see the events leading up to and occurring during the Talwin-Ashurian conflict, whereby the nations of Talwin and Asher clash over the energy-rich Talwin crystals. With a variety of stories, it highlights the various aspects of both sides, and I really think provides a good mix of concepts. Project number 3 is the first novel in the Journey series, retroactively titled The White Order. Diana's first full-length adventure, it features my Doberman Archer as she encounters a group known as the eponymous White Order, who alongside an ancient enemy bring her face-to-face with a threat that could spell disaster for the entire continent. With a cover by Dr. Piquel, who did the cover for my first novel, along with several interior illustrations, this one also features a cameo from Diana Artemis, Rebel Squirrel's Vixen Archer, and Lauren Rivers as well. The fourth project is a Blue Moon prequel of sorts. An anthology by nature, it originally came about when I was looking at a piece of art by Trevor, also known as Mystic Sabrionic on FA, and started considering the idea of a werewolf cowboy. While running this concept through my head, I started toying with the thought of other points in time where I could explore how the were societies interacted with humans and came up with a number of concepts. Originally planned for 10 separate ideas, I decided that rather than 10 separate concepts, I didn't want to play with these characters and then drop them, so I narrowed it down to 5, with each group having 2 adventures, some direct sequels and others just with the same characters facing a different problem. I chose Ancient Egypt, the Salem Witch Trials, the Black Death, the American West, and Europe during World War II. The last project is a relatively new idea, but one that came together rather quickly. It's called Winterfall, and partially inspired by Snowpiercer and Frostpunk, it's about a polar bear family living in the last surviving city on Earth. It's really exciting, and I can't wait to tell you more about it, but for now, let's just say that it's a remarkable piece of work, and I put a lot of heart and soul into this one. So that's Phase 1, and I've already got an idea of the things I'd like to do for Phase 2, so please stay tuned, because there's lots more coming soon. Thanks for watching, and if you liked it, click the subscribe button and leave a comment below. You can also find me on Twitter and a few other places on the web, or support me via Patreon or Ko-fi. Zebra hugs!